Hello, my Blockhead beauties. It's your girl, that Wahlburgers chick, coming to you from NK Airplay Radio. And this is another episode of If You Go Away Stories of Our Blockhead Angels. Now, today is a special show because I'm actually going to be talking about my best friend, ALMA, who passed away in 2017 and happens to have the same exact name as Donnie's mom, Alma, who recently passed away last week. So rest in peace to Mama Alma Wahlberg. Alma, I met back in 2008. So, in order to give you guys a little history, I gotta go back. I have been a blockhead since the 80s, and I went through that story on a day in the life of a blockhead. Back in 2008, I actually had a store called the Nevermore Store, and it catered to rock and heavy metal crowd, and it was here in the Bronx. So this was before I actually opened it up in 2007, and it was before New Kids on the Block got back together. I never stopped loving my boys though. That's always gonna be a thing. But when they got back together, I still had my store, and I got so excited that they were back together, but I really didn't have anyone to share in that experience with because I couldn't find any other blockheads that were as crazy as I was. I didn't know we existed. Thought it was just me. In having that store, I met a young lady that was one of my customers. Her name is Angie. Shout out to Angie. And she was the manager at a bookstore that I started working in. Now, Angie used to come in to the store, and every time she came into the store, she would say, "Oh, I bought Evil with me," meaning her credit card, because she would spend money in the store. Now, we talked about how excited I was at the fact that New Kids on the Block got together, and she didn't judge me for it. And she actually told me that she had someone that worked with her that was also a New Kids on the Block fan. I said, "Great, introduce me because I need to know, I need to share in my moment with someone." So she introduced me to Alma, and her and I hit it off right away. In the beginning of our relationship, we actually was talking on the phone before we ever saw each other in person. So we used to talk on the phone constantly, and it would always be about New Kids on the Block. Now, I didn't know that Alma was from the Bahamas. I'm Latina, I'm Puerto Rican, so I started talking to her in Spanish, and she started replying. I assumed she was Spanish. And we just hit it off so well. So eventually, I finally get to meet her in person. I was going through some tough times at that year, around 2008, 2009. Um, I was pregnant in 2009. And by that time, Amma and I had already had a relationship. It was new, but it was a relationship. And when I was going through my tough times, Alma was there. She helped me through my pregnancy because the father of the baby wasn't around. She helped me with a lot of stuff during my darkest time. New Kids on the Block were a very huge part of that because if it wasn't for the fact that I love these guys so much, I wouldn't have never been introduced to this wonderful woman who helped me through my darkest time. Now, I explained to her that New Kids have a way of coming around when I have a lot of drama going on in my life. And I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life, and they have helped me through it in every way. And she joked, Alma joked, well, maybe they should stop because every time they come around, something messed up happens. But I loved her for that. We were able to joke and make fun of each other. I make fun of my situations all the time. I mean, I love this woman to the point where she became godmother to my child that I had. Both of them, actually. And we shared a lot of memories. New Kids on the Block were not the only bands we went to see because we were huge fans of Disturbed as well, which is a metal band, by the way. But we had so much fun. And I can remember the first concert that I went to actually wasn't with Alma, and I was bawling, crying. They were on tour with the Jabberwockies and all these people, and it was amazing. And I just bawled, crying, and I had no one to share it with because at that point, Alma couldn't go with me. But then we started going together. She went with me when we saw New Kids, Lady Gaga, all these people. And Alma had a way to make it fun. She was a Danny girl, and I'm a Donnie girl. And she didn't want to let on that she was just as excited as I was to be there. So she's like, yeah, I'm not as crazy as this woman is, but she was. She was. Secretly, she was. Now, this woman, like I said, has been with me through thick and thin. And we've shared in concerts together. We had so much fun. We never did the VIP because we couldn't afford to. But she explained to me how when she was younger, she was able to see them in concert. She saw them when she was a little younger. I believe she was hanging around when they had to go to court, and she was there supporting them and all of that. So she had her early history with New Kids on the Block as well. But I didn't meet her until later on in life when we became adults and we were fanning out, girling out together. Alma got sick around 2016, in November 2016 actually, and she had thyroid cancer, I believe it was. So we had planned to go on the cruise leaving from New Orleans in 2017. Said, okay, don't worry, you're gonna get better, and we're gonna go on the cruise since we never done one. I made sure, okay, I'm gonna save money, we're gonna go, we're gonna do this. So 2017 came and we were excited. She got sick, but we were like, okay, you're gonna take your chemo, whatever it is that she had to do. You're gonna get better, and we're going on this cruise and we're gonna have the time of our life. Unfortunately, Alma got worse and she ended up passing away 5 days before her birthday. So she had passed February 20th of 2017. And we had her funeral on her birthday. That was very tragic for me because although we only had about 8 years or so that we've known each other, she was my ride or die, my best friend. You couldn't tell me anything. I mean, we were so close, we were planning to live together and all of that. And Alma knew how to put me in check. You know, she was just that girl. And we enjoyed many, many moments together. I am grateful for the time that we were able to have. I decided to go on the cruise because we were supposed to go on that cruise together, and I needed her to still be there in some way, shape, or form. This picture that you guys are seeing is a picture I blew up of her and I took with me to that cruise because I needed to bring her with me. I also kept some of her ashes inside of a locket, and I wear that every time I go to a New Kids on the Block event to honor her because she's still with me. Girl, I'm taking you everywhere with me. So 2017 was also the very first time that I ever flew anywhere. I've never been on a plane before that. These guys have a way of making you get out of your comfort zone, and it was worth every moment. I was scared, but I had Alma with me here, and the fact that we were going on the cruise, I took my godmother in her place so that we can have our memory as well. I get to New Orleans 5 days before the cruise. I wanted, being that it was my first time ever flying, I didn't want it to just be about the cruise. So I went to New Orleans 5 days before, did the whole tourist thing, had a great time, did the pre party the night before the cruise. That was a good time. And then we went on the cruise. Now, I wasn't expecting what happened on the cruise to happen. I was a little down, but I said, okay, I'm going to have the time of my life because that's what Alma would have wanted. And she would have been here having the time of my life as well, so I have to live it up, just like the New Kids on the Block song says. We get on the cruise, and the minute that we get on the cruise, I feel all the love from the Blockheads, right? Just regular old Blockhead stuff, doing Blockhead things. It's just what we do. We have fun. We start drinking the minute we go on. We look for our room. We look for food. We get all that safety stuff out the way. And then, of course, we're lurking. We're looking around to see if we see the guys. It's what we do. Now, on the cruise, for those of you that never been there, they actually do have a live concert on the cruise. So they have an actual theater with seats and everything. It's huge. And they have an actual concert. And at these concerts, sometimes you can get a Q&A, or they'll have the game show going on another time. And this is when you can ask your questions. So I was in the audience. I wasn't even like on the bottom close to where they were. Me and my godmother was actually sitting up, and the up on top, not all the way in the nosebleeds, but kind of like in between. Now I had that picture that you're looking at, huge picture. And when the concert was over, or rather the game, I can't remember if it was the concert or the game show, I held it up because I said, I want them to know Alma. Now, I didn't expect anything. I just wanted him to acknowledge the picture. So that was going to be enough for me, that they acknowledged it and they saw her. And I'm like, yeah, girl, we did it. What ended up happening was way more than I could ever ask for. Donnie looks up. He notices the picture. He notices the name on top. And he just called me down to the stage. Now, I could not believe that he was calling me, but girl, when Donnie calls you, you run. So I ran down those stairs. I said, Medina, come catch up. Like, I totally didn't mean to, but I totally forgot. And I ran, and I took that picture with me, and I ran. Now, as I'm going down the stairs and I get to the stage area, I get up on that stage, and Donnie just throws his arms around me and he hugs me so tight, like so tight. And I think it could have been like 2 minutes, but it felt like a lifetime. And he cried with me and he just held me. And when he was done with that, he takes Alma's picture and he looks at it and he's like, "Oh, she has my mother's name." I said, "Yes. Tell me about her." So I explained to him. I couldn't even remember the words that I said, but it was something to the effect of, "This is Alma. She was my best friend. She was supposed to be on this cruise with me, but unfortunately, she didn't make it, and she had passed away very recently, actually." Now, he felt that story. Donnie felt that story, and you know how our captain does. He just gets so emotional, sentimental, and he cries a little bit. So he cried with me. I thought that was it. Okay, I mean, that was it. I accomplished everything I was gonna accomplish at that point, or so I thought. Then he tells me, "I want you to bring Alma with you everywhere." I didn't have any expectations. I said, "Okay." He's like, "Come with me." Donnie grabs me by my hands and he's walking me hand in hand, just walking me backstage. As we get backstage, I'm noticing, the camera crew. I'm noticing other blockheads. I noticed Jordan for like a brief second, but I really wasn't paying attention because I was like in the moment. So while I'm in the moment, we're walking down the hallway, and Donnie sees other blockheads. He goes, "Excuse me, just give me 1 second to take a picture with them." I'm like, "Of course, of course." So he's taking his pictures with fellow blockheads, enjoying the time, reaches back around, grabs my hand again. "Okay, let's continue." And I was in heaven. I could not tell you. I was numb. I was feeling excited. Inside, I was screaming like my 9-year-old self, like, "Ah!" And I was really losing my mind, but I was going to hold it together because I was not going to act up like that in front of Donnie, right? Now I'm holding it, and he's like, "Follow me." We get inside the elevator, and I didn't even notice Jordan was standing literally right behind me. Like if I backed up, I was gonna be on Jordan. That's how close I was. So I'm in the elevator with Donnie holding my hand. I got Jordan right behind me, a bunch of crew members, and I I turned around and noticed, "Oh my God, Jordan, I love you. Please, can I get a picture?" Jordan takes a picture with me, and I get my picture with Jordan. Now, as we're walking, Donnie asked me, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Honestly, Alma's favorite was Danny and John, but she was a Danny girl. I would really love if Danny could hold her picture so that I've accomplished Alma getting a picture with her man." He said, "That's it. I got you." So we're walking down the hall. He knocks on the door. It's Danny. It's Danny in his private room. And he's like, "Danny, we have a fan here, and she would like for you to take a picture with her best friend who unfortunately passed away and couldn't be here." Danny was like, "Absolutely. Absolutely." And I got my picture with Danny holding Alma's picture. And I was in heaven. I was like, girl, inside, I was like, "We did it. We did it." But, it didn't end there. I get the picture. Danny tell me about her a little bit, and I did. And he was like, "All right, cool." He took the picture, moved on. Then I said, if it's possible to get, John to hold her as well. He was like, I got you. Donnie was like, I got you. So we went into the room. He knocked on the door, and it was John. And John, I got to tell the story about Alma and what a wonderful person she was, and he cried with me, you know. He cried with me. And he took a picture with her also, and that was like so amazing, to the point where I was like, I am done. Like, this is it. Like, we got it. We did it. And it didn't end there. Donnie turns around to his assistant or whoever it was that was there. Probably not his assistant. I think that's John. But turns around to someone that was there and was like, hey, what we got for her? What do you want to give her? Let's hook her up with some VIP. He asked me how many people were in my party. Now, I had other friends that I had met, and I didn't even think about them in the moment, but I was with my godmother, so I said two. So he hooked me up with two VIP passes for the breakfast club that they have there. And he tells me, I want you to bring Alma with you. I'm like, okay, no problem. So the day goes on, all the festivities go on. We have the theme nights on the cruise, we party, we go on. I walked back to the room. I grabbed Alma's picture and I cried and I said, Alma, we did it. We did it. You got your picture with Danny. You got your picture with John. And now you coming with me everywhere, girl. And we're going to have the time of our lives. I had to take a moment because I did not expect that. And the kind of love that these guys show you, you have to be in it to understand. You never will unless you're a Blockhead and you experience them, because New Kids is not just a band, they're an experience. So I'm bringing Alma with me with no more expectations, because I'm like, I'm done. This is it. This is it. I get to the Lido party, and there's thousands of Blockheads, the Lido party. And so I'm dancing, I'm doing my thing. Donnie is all the way on the stage, wherever it was he was standing at. I'm closer to where you first come in. So there was no way that I was going to get in there for Donnie to see me. And it was fine by me because I already had my moment. I was like, let someone else have their moment. But I had my picture of Alma and I held it up. When he faced the camera towards where I was standing, I held it up so he can see, hey, I'm here, because he told me to bring her. So I just wanted to show him she's here. She's here with us. That was my only intention. Donnie notices the picture, focuses in right on Alma's picture, making her huge on the big screen behind him. And then he calls me up to the stage. I'm like, okay. So I go up to the stage and I'm bringing Alma with me. And he makes a whole speech. He says, I want to introduce everyone to Raven. And this is her best friend, Alma. Not my mother, Alma. Her best friend, Alma. And then he proceeded to explain to them how she passed away and was supposed to be on that cruise. So he had a moment of silence for her in the middle of the Lido deck party. And that was so amazing. I was holding her picture. I was turning around so everyone can see her. I can feel the love. I can feel the love pouring out of him. I can feel the love from the Blockheads that were around. And it was just an amazing experience. And it didn't even end there. Like, I don't even know if money could even buy the kind of experience that I had on that cruise. So he gave her that moment of silence, which, oh my God, right? Kept me up there. We were dancing, and if anyone has videos of that, I would actually appreciate if y'all can send it to me. But I know I was offbeat, and I know there was a dance everybody knew, and I was trying to fake it, but I know I couldn't. So it was crazy. It was crazy. But Danny was there. He was standing behind me as well, and I told him she loved you. She loved you so much. You were her favorite, and I got to tell him that again, and that was awesome. So we had our moment on the stage. He gave Alma a moment of silence. I come down off the Lido deck, right? So that the party can continue. All the love that I got, all the gifts, all the hugs, all the oh my God, and that love. I appreciate you, Blockheads. If you were on that 2017 cruise and you gave me all that love, I appreciate you. And it's because of you ladies that I have this show and my other show. I'm doing it for y'all so y'all can come and tell your stories, because all of us have stories because of these amazing guys. And it didn't end there. So then I went and I started getting ready for the VIP party. I wasn't expecting anything there either, but the fact that I got to go was amazing. So me and my madrina, we getting ready. I get to the Lido, I'm sorry, not the Lido deck. I get to the VIP party. I have Alma with me because my captain said, bring her with me everywhere. So that's what I did. So I brought her with me, because he did tell me tonight's going to be your night. I said, okay. So when I brought her with me and I went into the Lido deck party, of course, he notices again and he comes right to me, gives me a hug and all that, brings me up on the stage at the VIP party, and gives Alma another moment of silence at the VIP party. And then we started living it up and we started dancing the night away. And John, he was there, and he was amazing too. What happens in the VIP stays in the VIP. So I won't give details, but we couldn't even have cameras. But it was an amazing night and an amazing experience. Now, after that, I was done. I was done. I went back to the room, and I don't even remember for how long I cried, because it was like, Alma, we did it. Thank you. You're here with me. I had her with me. When I was dancing with Donnie, she was dancing with Donnie as well. When I got my hug from John, she got her hug from John. I mean, it was what it was. And it was an amazing experience. And I tell you that these guys, they do that for us. And they don't have to. They can just sit back, collect the money, give us a little bit, and then keep it moving, but they don't. They actually care generally about their fans. I've heard stories of Donnie paying for funerals of blockheads that passed away, and he did this for me. I'm just like, I'm done. I became a Donnie girl like that. I mean, I grew up a Joey girl, and Joey, I will always love you. I still get butterflies in my stomach when I hear you sing and all of that. But Donnie did that for me, and I was hooked. That was it. And that experience changed my life, one of many. And I decided that I wanted to do something to give back. And there are many things that I do, but this is one of my favorite things that I do as well, that now I can have all of you come on the show if you lost a loved one and you shared experiences with them. Definitely come on this show and share your story. Tell us the stories that they are not here to tell us, because we can immortalize them and their stories will be told. That's what this show is about. Now, if Alma was here with me now, I think she would like slap me in the head and be like, "Girl, stop." I know that she would have had the time of her life. She would be real calm, but then if she saw her man Danny, she would probably push everybody out the way, like, he mine, and then just go for it. Because that's just like how she was. She was a beautiful, wonderful person, and I miss her dearly. And every single time I go to a New Kids event, she's with me. I may not walk around with the giant picture that you're seeing, but I definitely will have the locket on because she's coming with. So I want to say to the guys, if you should see this, because, of course, I'm not affiliated with New Kids, Wahlburgers, or anyone like that, but I hope to be one day. But if they should see this, I want to thank you. Okay, Joey, I fell in love with you when I was a little girl, and saying, "Please don't go, girl." And that voice, that little voice, just did it for me. You were so adorable, and I couldn't resist you. You know. Then you had Jordan with that falsetto. He does it. That falsetto. He hits that high note. I'm melting. That's it. And he just had such a beautiful face, and that smile is irresistible. I can't with you, Jordan. I can't. And by the way, the next time I go on a cruise, I want to dance suavemente with you. I'm telling you, I'm coming for you, Jordan. Now, John, you give the most wonderful hugs, and when you put your arms around me, it feels so safe and so warm and so humble. And I love you for that. I love you for that. And I want many more hugs. You make me feel safe. You make me feel like nothing can touch me in that moment, and nothing can. Danny, you are so strong and so out there. You are amazing. I love you as well. I love every single one of you. But Danny, he's a tough guy. He'll tell you like it is to your face and keep it moving. I mean, that's just the type of guy that he is. He is no bull, you know what. But Danny's amazing for that, and we respect him for that. And Donnie, I thank you from the bottom of my heart because I know that you feel it the way that we do. You feel our pain, you feel our joy, but you don't know the extent or how deep rooted that goes. And you need to know that you have made such an impact on my life and on many other blockheads' life for the better. And if that's what you were aiming for, then you accomplished it. You accomplished it. And in that moment, you made Alma, that was no longer with us, a part of that entire experience. And you didn't even think twice about it. You just did it. And you did it with such love and such welcome welcoming emotions. And I mean, I can't even find the right words right now to explain what you did for me. And I will always love you for that, and I will always be loyal for that. I went and got this tattoo here just to honor you, and free advertisement for life. And hey, stop playing with me, Donnie. You need to hire me. I would love to be a part of anything that you're doing. But on top of that, you signed it, your brother Mark signed it. I mean, you guys are the best, and I love you for that. And I thank you. Just continue being you. Continue to be what you are. You guys are amazing, and you help so many people. My Alma, I love you so much. Rest in peace, girl. I take you with me everywhere. I miss you so much. There is not a day that doesn't go by, especially when I do these shows, that I don't think about you, girl. And how I wish you was here to experience and scream with me and all of that. Make fun of me like you used to for doing what I'm doing. I just miss you, girl, so much from the bottom of my heart. You will always be a part of me, and I love you for that. So that was my story that I wanted to share with all of you for this show. So, of course, if any of you out there, and I know it hurts because almost 5 years later, 4 years later, it still hurts deeply. But if you would like to honor them and you would like to tell your story with your Blockhead angel, hit your girl up at NK Airplay Radio, okay? And then come on the show and let's talk about your Blockhead angel. Until then, stay safe, stay humble, and as always, stay fabulous. Mwah. I love you all. Thank you.